The Wheel of Time Season 2 Apology Tour continues. Welcome back, everybody. Real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to Aldan, Whisker Fisherman TV, and Doviande Se Tovius Again. Some of my most loyal and longest channel members, almost to that 12-month mark. There's some others right behind it. I'll shout you guys out. You know who you are in the next few videos to come. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And enough of that. Please subscribe. Maybe consider becoming a channel member. But here we go. More important things. We're going to talk about what a time jump could mean for Season 2 by Looper, because Looper is so in the know about Wheel of Time. Now, as you're going to see, we're going to read through some of this. I'm going to skip through it pretty fast like I normally do, but there are some worse parts of this than others. I skipped through it pretty fast. I did notice in this picture, it looks like that's Uno in the background there. So I'm not sure what part of this debacle that's going to be a show it is. It's probably a scene from Faldar from episode 1 from season 1. I'm not sure, but regardless, we're not here to talk about the picture. But in this article, there are some spoilers, as they say, for Wheel of Time Season 2. Not that there's much to spoil, other than it's going to be a giant garbage fire. But if you don't want to be spoiled, then I don't know why you're watching. But let's get to it. You're going to hear a lot of the same speech being said in these articles. The more and more I read them, the more and more we get towards the launch of Season 2 on September 1st, the more you're going to see them saying the same things and making the same apologies for the show as they have in the past. So let's see. Wheel of Time is one of Amazon Studios' major fantasy adaptations in recent years, with Season 1 airing blah blah blah. Fans who weren't turned off by the admittedly necessary but equally significant changes. Now, this is Apology 1. It keeps coming. They weren't necessary, not one fucking bit. I've already said the F-bomb. I don't care. The changes they made were absolutely unnecessary. I will repeat myself. The changes they made were absolutely 100% unnecessary. Okay? This is, again, I will repeat myself. I feel like I'm going hoarse. Unfortunately, I will speak for most of you. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but most of us, almost, I would say probably 95, maybe even 100% of us, were expecting some changes from the book material. We were expecting some changes here or there because they wanted to fit this in and they didn't think they could fit that in, or this, that, and the other. That is not what they did. And that is why most of us that are here watching this video now and watching others, like the White Cloaks or Salty Traveling Seas or Nathan's or even Emporial's channels while we're talking about the Wheel of Time. That's not... It's because what they have put on the screen is not small changes, and they weren't necessary. They were giant changes that were completely unnecessary. They changed the whole story with these changes. That is the problem. So this bullshit apology... This bullshit excuse that keeps going out from almost every other article saying it's too big, we have to make changes. And even though they were garbage changes, they were necessary. No. Don't buy it. It's not true. Okay? They could have done a million other things, and they could have stayed true to the story. But as you're going to see in this article, there's a lot of double talk to make excuses for this BS. Okay? Admittedly necessary but equally significant. So they changed the whole freaking thing, right? Not necessary but significant. Gotcha. With so much material to pack into, here we go. Here's excuse and apology number 2. With so much material to pack into a limited run, there's bound to be more changes ahead. Right? So apology 2. It's too big to adapt faithfully. The big lie. There's too much. There's too much, we can't adapt it all. There's too much, we have to make changes. There's too much, we have to add storylines that don't exist and take out actual stories from the book. Does that sound right? That we've now added all this Moraine crap to a great hunt season, but we can't tell the whole story that's in there. That's not a change to the existing narrative. That is changing the story completely. That is completely different. When you do that, you're venturing off on your own. That is not the Wheel of Time anymore. That is bullshit and bullshit tell a story together. Dumb and Dumber tell a story. Idiot 1 and Idiot 2 tell a story together, and they think they're better than Robert Jordan. That's where we're at here. Okay? It is not... this whole, it's too long, we can't adapt it all. Well, then why are you adding all this extra bullshit instead of trying to fit in what you can from the actual source material? There are changes that could be made that make the runtime easily fit the source material. And as even is going to be said in this article, they keep double talking. So here, we'll get there, okay? So I don't need to hear what Perrin said, but in Series 1, the naivety of the characters is at the forefront of the story. But in Season 2, there's a bit of a time jump. They started to accept the faith of the prophecy of their destiny. What prophecy? There's no prophecy in this show. None. There's no prophecy. So how are they accepting a prophecy that is non-existent? So there's more maturity to them. Oh, great. And it's darker, too. Well, I can't wait to see... Jesus. I can't wait to see Leandrin's dark side and Matt. Maybe they're going to have a dark side party together. They're going to be like, woo, we're so dark. Look at our past. What a bunch of beef fucking S. Oh, my God. The innocence of those kids we find in the village in Episode 1 is long gone, and they're becoming a bit grown up. I'm really excited for people to see it. I doubt it. It's going to be more crying and bullshit and bullshit and bullshit and crying. Oh, I'm so sad. Why don't you love me? I have to be tough. I'm going to be Aes Sedai. I have to. I can't love you. You can't love me the way I need to be loved. But why don't you just love me? Why are you leaving me alone? I'm Aes Sedai. I mean, what the fuck are we doing? Like, that's what's this. It's going to be Aes Sedai politics and boys crying, and maturity levels are going to be at an all-time low. We already can see it from the pictures. It's going to be men standing in the background, the boys, the main characters, standing in the background, while the girls do everything, and the guys are going to be like, oh my God, my mouth is open, and you're amazing. That's what it's going to be. The idea of some kind of time jump makes sense on multiple levels. Explain. No, it doesn't. It makes zero. The most obvious is that there's technically a small time jump between the first and second books. And no, wait, okay, so maybe I'm missing it. No, there's not. What time jump? Like, they spend a little bit of time in Faldara. That's it. Like, there's a tiny bit where they're in Faldara hanging out. That's it. They're like, that's it. If you're calling that a time jump, you are stretching. It basically almost picks up almost right after the events of the Eye-World. Padan Fain is in jail. They're interrogating him, and then everything kicks off when he escapes. The time jump is insignificant. To call it a time jump is being disingenuous because they don't do anything in the time jump. They're sitting in Faldara. They're not doing anything. So that doesn't count as a time jump. A week isn't a time jump. You're being disingenuous, and you're trying to equate something that's in the books that's not really there to give this frickin' show some actual purpose and to try and give it some actual frickin' credibility. There is no credibility. They are not following anything in the show or in the book. They're just not. They've gone their own fucking way. So every time that they say something, oh, it's in the book, it's not. Almost 9 times out of 10, it's not in the book. They've made it up. Or they've screwed it around their head so much that they can say it and believe it, even though it's not really there. There is no time jump in The Great Hunt. Not a significant one. Being in Faldara long enough for people to start calling Rand Lord, that doesn't, a week, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit longer. But they don't do anything. Okay? So saying that the time jump makes sense so they can get rid of some of the boring parts, is that where they say it in here? However, there's a small... It's not. The time jump Roseman describes sounds more significant, obviously, because they got to trash a whole bunch of the story because they don't know how to write. Whether it's a month or a year. So they're going to time... There's a possibility they're going to time jump a year. That is crazy. That is crazy. So Pat and Fane is long gone. Think of their own story. Pat and Fane is long gone with the Horn of Valyr and the dagger. Gone. There's no catching him. Where is a hunt if they've let a year slip by? There's no way you're getting him. Period. It's crazy. And then to say it's okay is just, it's ridiculous. What would a time jump mean for season 2 of The Wheel of Time? Not much, because the show is already garbage. Oh, they're shooting their goo off the ship again. I wish I had that video. Oh, well. Whatever amount of time the show skips, Marcus Rutherford's comment implied that it's enough for some major character development to happen. So you're telling me that they're going to do a bunch of character development off screen. So they can't write. They're terrible writers. They're going to develop them off screen. Then we're going to show up in season 2, and all of a sudden they're going to be different characters. Unfucking believable. Another is the sheer quantity of source material. There are 14 gigantic books in the original story. Amazon Studio only signed up for 8 seasons. Assuming it makes it that far, it means blah, 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 blah. Well, they still haven't touched book 1, so they're already way behind. They're definitely not touching book 2 or 3 like they said they were, so they're getting even further behind. Now, I will tell you this straight up, okay? And maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me. I really highly doubt if they frickin' did a show that was killing it and the ratings were through the roof, that if they said, hey, we really need to get to 10 seasons, that they go, nah, we're done. They built a studio out there. So you're telling me if your ratings were fucking through the roof and it was a cultural phenomenon like it was Game of Thrones, that they'd just be like, nah, we don't want any more episodes, we're good. Nah, we don't want to make the money. We're good. Maybe they don't want to make the money. Wheel of Time is famous for juggling dozens of characters in countless locations. Spin-off storylines take place all the time. At the end of season 1 alone, we left Rand. This is not from the book. So what does it have to do with the book spinning storylines? Those are terrible examples, because guess what? Those are bad storylines created by the stupid show. Guess where they're actually all at the end of the Eye of the World? They're all together. You're talking about have to juggle too much? You have put yourself in that position. They are all together at the end of the Eye of the World. And then basically ends up in 2 groups with one splinter group for a small period of time. You have made your job more difficult by splintering them even more sooner into unknown fucking ways. So you've written yourself into a fucking goddamn void of nothing because there's nothing to adapt because of what you've done. Good job. Jumping ahead a bit will make the process even easier. So we skip all the details and just don't ask about it. Now we get into the COVID apology. COVID makes things hard, blah, blah, blah. A time jump could be just what the doctor ordered. Can we time jump to the end where the Dark One wins? If the Wheel of Time creator Ralph Butkins decides to jump ahead in the story, it could be the perfect move to get the show back on track. If you think this show is getting back on track, so first of all, self-own there, get the show back on track. That means the show is off track, which means the show is garbage. So you sort of a Freudian slip there, buddy, but thank you for admitting that the show sucks. Thank you. It would allow for the narrative to skim over some of the boring, slow material. So here we go. Here is backing up the great lie. It would allow the narrative to skim over some of the boring or slow material. The books are loaded with traveling scenes and lengthy conversations, for instance. So I thought there was too much to fucking cover in the Wheel of Time books. There is too much. There's so much we can't cover it all. Yet, the books are loaded with traveling scenes and lengthy conversations, for instance. Which is it? Is there too much to cover, or is there loads of shit that can be cut? Is there too much, or is there loads of shit? What is it? And then, when you cut the shit, you inject your own bullshit that has nothing to do with the story. Would you see when you actually read what they're saying and apply it to what we've seen and to what we've heard, how all this shit falls apart? It just all falls apart. They're lying. They know they're lying. They're hoping to get some buzz for this by just saying, don't worry, we're going to get back on track. Your Wheel of Time show is going to start looking like Wheel of Time. And guess what? Don't fall for it. We already know that's bullshit. It's going to be the Rosamund Pike show. It's going to be The Wheel of Pike, Season 2. Rand's going to fuck off somewhere, and we're not going to see him. And it's all going to be about politics and Carheen. Maybe Rand will be there behind her. And she'll go, hold my drink, bitch. I'm going to have a Moraine video here soon. Probably tomorrow. This would also make sense. Nothing makes sense, so stop. Because Season 1 already did the grunt work of building... Yeah, they built such a great world that we don't know where Shadar Logoth is. We think the White Tower is Shadar Logoth. We think we've gone to Baelaron. We think that the White Tower is actually Shadar Logoth. We don't have any idea where we are. We don't know if it's Ishmael, the Dark One. The Blight looks like a fucking... somebody did finger painting on in a crazy psychiatric hospital, and they said, ooh, let's take a picture of that. We've burned down the two rivers, and now we gotta, make that again. Yeah, we've done the grunt work building the characters in the show. Rand, we had nobody. If you ask a single person what Rand's all about, they wouldn't know. If you ask a single person what Perrin's all about, they wouldn't know. Those are the two of the main characters. Mat is dark. Ooh. And saying that we've set up the world is just... We've skipped half the world. Maybe more. It's bullcrap. They haven't done anything. They haven't built anything. There's a giant world that they could have built, and they screwed it up. 100%. Oh, what can we do better now that these... Okay, wait, hold on. I got it. So... The head of Global TV, Vernon Sanders, praised Judkins for the direction of Season 2 was taking, adding, so we absolutely went into Season 2 with a real conversation about what can we do even better now that we've introduced this giant world and established these characters. The biggest problem is you failed at that. So what? You need to actually fucking do it. This it would also make sense because Season 1 already... No, wait, I already read this. And I didn't... Yeah, so... Whatever. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Judkins himself, this is the most fucking just delusional, self-absorbed comment I've ever heard in my life. What an asshole. If this is him poking at book readers. It's a gift for people who knows the books to watch the show because they see contained in each of these characters the path that's in front of them. In Season 2, we're on that path. By the end of the season, 8 episodes later, it's just massive. I'm excited for people to see it. Do you see any of the characters from the books going where they're supposed to go? This gift, us book readers that are watching the show, be honest with yourself, even if you like this show. How do you support that comment? How do you say that as a book reader, you're happy with the direction these characters are going and you can see the path they're on? You can see them making it where they're supposed to be going in the books. Because that's what that's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, don't worry, we're on track. The characters are right where they're supposed to be. As a book reader, you know exactly where they're going to end up. That's what he's trying to say. Even if you like the show, just think to yourself, look at that comment for what it is. Is that really what's happening? Do you really see any of our characters ending up where they should be? At the end of The Dragon Reborn, mind you, because they've already said they're going to Shadow Rising for Season 3, which we all know isn't going to happen because they haven't touched the first 3 books. But do you see any of our characters being where they're supposed to be at the end of The Dragon Reborn? That's what he's saying. It's a complete lie. He's an egotistical piece of crap. I'm sorry. I don't know the man, but from his actions, from the way he behaves, for the things he says on social media, and for frickin' comments like that saying it's a gift to us book readers, he's being egotistical. He thinks he's better than Robert Jordan. He's said on record he thinks he's fixing shit. He is the worst. The combination of Rosamund Pike and Rafe Judkins is the worst thing that's ever happened to Wheel of Time. They are dead set on destroying it and its legacy. And you know what? I, for one, am not going to let them. I'm going to try my darndest to call this crap out. I know you watching this most of you. If you're just watching me for the first time, even if you don't like me, and that's fine. I'm not there for everybody. Look at the books you love and think to yourself, is this really what we deserved? Is this really what we're hoping? We were expecting changes, but do we expect our Wheel of Time show to look like Star Trek? Or to look like SG-1? Or to look like frickin' Call of Duty? Or to look... I mean, my point is it doesn't look anything like Wheel of Time. Did we expect... We expected changes, but we expected the essence of Wheel of Time to still be there. The essence of Wheel of Time is not in the show anywhere. And if you are a book lover, if you love these book series, and you can seriously sit down and watch this show and say the essence of the show is there, you are lying to yourself. And you need to you need to read the books again, and then you need to watch the show again and take a serious look, because it's not there. The Wheel of Time show is not the Wheel of Time books. It is some just abomination that they've taken names, places, and our beloved title and destroyed it and tried to make it some I don't know, just some bad teen drama. You know, and some teen dramas are actually pretty good. This is a bad one. This is like freaking, I don't know, CW worst garbage. It's the worst. So, man. It's with bigger, more mature, fast-paced storylines ahead, the time jump will fit right in. No, it won't. It would serve as a minor palate cleanser for the shaky end. So again, for the shaky ending of season 1, another cell phone. Yes, it sucked. And give the show a spurt in momentum and dives headlong into a lengthy, dramatic, and all-around epic story that is about to unfold in earnest across the world. Fans affectionately call Randlands. No. See, so this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I know you added the S, but the S actually means a lot. It's called Randland. Not Randlands. The S matters. The S proves that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about and you didn't do any research. It's called Randland. Do you know why it's called Randland? Because Rand al'Thor is the lead character. He is the main character. He is the Dragon Reborn. It is his story. Not Moraine. Thank you for watching. If this pisses you off as much as it does, please like, share, subscribe. Leave me a comment what you think about a time jump. Do you think a time jump would work? Do you think a time jump can save anything? Or does it just even more down the toilet for the show? Thanks again for watching. And yeah, maybe join the Dragon Swarm, please. We need you. Thank you, Aldan, again. Thank you, Whisker Fisherman TV. And thank you, Doviande Setovius, again, for being longtime members. I appreciate you guys very, very much. And all my members. Until next time, keep fighting the fight. All hail the Lord Dragon. Have a great one. We'll see you on the next one.